Hi, this is Paul Heffernon. Watch me answer your Twitter questions on Hibernian TV.
Paul, we're here in the dressing room at the training centre in order to answer the Twitter questions that have been sent in via #AskHef, and we'll start off with the first question, which comes in from Robbie McIver, who asks you what's it been like playing with Zubir in training. He looks a great talent.
Yeah, he does. Obviously I've only seen him for a couple of weeks. Played in the game against Rangers at Rangers training ground, and then seen him for 20 minutes against St Johnstone, and he looks a great talent. Yeah, he's got some tricks. He's strong. He can run with the ball, so he's definitely got the potential to be a very good player. You know, he's in training even. He's twisting and turning and getting shots off. So he's an exciting prospect.
Next question comes from Andrew McGregor, who asks you, what is the biggest team you have played against?
I've played against a lot of teams in the cups, the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Aston Villa, you know, in the cup competitions down in England. So, but probably Chelsea. I played against them at Stamford Bridge just after Abramovich had took over, and there was some big hitters playing that day, the likes of Hasselbank and Varane and people like that. So that was probably the best game.
You obviously scored for Doncaster Rovers against Aston Villa as well, knocked them out of the cup. Was that one of the highlights of your career?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a great that cup run. Actually, we got to the quarter final and ended up losing to Arsenal on penalties. We beat Man City and Aston Villa along the way, and as I say, I managed to score a goal against Villa, which was definitely a highlight in my career.
Mike Otto asks you, who is the best player you've played with and against? I think a few supporters tweeted in this same question.
The best player I've played with, I've always said, was a player called Darren Caskey. He was an ex-Tottenham player. I played with him later on in his career at Notts County. Ability-wise, he was tremendous. He wasn't the most mobile player, but you know, picking a pass and controlling the tempo of a game was second to none. He was definitely the best I played with.
Lewis Wilkie asks you, what do you hope to achieve this season, and in terms of the league, where do you think Hibs should finish each year? That's from Lewis Wilkie.
I think Hibs have got to be looking at least top 6 every season. The squad we've got at the minute, I think it'd be a disappointing season if we didn't finish in the top 6. And then once, obviously, you get in there, you're looking to push on then after the split. But definitely the main aim is to be top 6 at least.
So a League Cup run starts against Stranraer next week. You've obviously won the League Cup with Kilmarnock. Do you feel that that's perhaps a realistic aim as well?
Definitely. We've got Stranraer in the next round of that. The year we won it at Kilmarnock, we didn't play an SPL side till the final against Celtic. So you can be lucky with a couple of draws, and before you know it, you're in the semi-final at Hampden, and anything can happen. So a good cup run always boosts confidence as well. So hopefully we can do that.
A question that's coming from Glory to the Hibees, Kenny Murphy and Scott Purvis. They've all asked you how many goals you hope to score this season. You're obviously off the mark now.
It's a question. I've never put a figure on how many goals I want to score, you know, because once you start putting numbers out there, then if you fall below it or if you reach it by Christmas, you know, what do you do then? So I just look to go out every game I play and try and score, whether that's starting the game or coming on last 10, last 20. Every time I go onto the pitch, I want to score a goal, and whatever tally you have at the end of the season, you know, that's what you got to be happy with.
What's the best one? Is it the 21 goals with Doncaster Rovers?
I've got 21 goals for Notts County, and I also got 21 for Doncaster in the season as well. So anything up around there would be nice.
Fantastic. Fernie asks you, do you think you could score yet another hat-trick against Hearts, and would you celebrate by sticking the ball up your shirt again?
I'd definitely like to get another hat-trick against them. Yeah, I mean that was a great day. Obviously they're the big rivals now, playing for him. So it'd be nice. Will I stick the ball up my shirt again? I've got no idea.
Jack and Liam McLennan ask you, what was the feeling like when you scored that goal on Saturday?
It was probably a mixture of satisfaction, you know. It's great, I love scoring goals, but also a little bit of relief, you know. When you go to a new club, you want to try and get off the mark as soon as possible. So to do it in my first start was definitely a bit of relief in there, and hopefully it's going to be the first of many.
Stuart Alexander asks, if you could have any striker in the world to be your partner up top, who would it be? James Collins?
James Collins, yeah. The best striker I think that I've ever seen is Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo. The Brazilian one was a fantastic player. He had everything, you know. He was quick, strong, scored goals. So I think I'd have to say him.
Would you say that you prefer playing up alongside maybe a target man, so to speak? Because your hold-up play is good anyway. We saw that against St Johnstone. But is that the type of player that you thrive to play alongside?
It depends really. It's hard to say. I played a lot the last few years at Kilmarnock and even before that down in England as a lone striker, which I don't mind either. You know, when you got quick players playing off you either side of you and stuff like that. So I think it can depend on what sort of opposition you're playing against and stuff like that. But it's good to have a big man up there that can hold the ball up as well, which means that it gives their defenders a lot more problems, and you can kind of get into the box and just wait for the chances to arrive. You know.
When you were capped by the Republic of Ireland under 21s, who was in your team then? Who was the class of player that you were playing alongside?
John O'Shea, Andy Reid, goalkeeper was John Murphy. You also had a few of the lads in the SPL, Jim Goodwin, John Daly. So it wasn't a bad side, you know. It's some good players in there. So it was a great. I didn't get capped at any other level like 18s, 19s, nothing like that. So. It was definitely one of the highlights of my career to get me first cap in the 21s, and managed to get a goal in my debut as well, which was fantastic, you know, for all my family as well. You know, it was brilliant.
You got Jim Goodwin this weekend as well at Easter Road. You certainly aged a lot better than him, Heff. It has to be said. He looks about 102.
Yeah, he's got. I think he had the grey hair. He started when he was about 21, Jim. So yeah, it's always good to see him though.
Good stuff. Next question is from David Espy, who asked, "What was it about Hibernian FC that made you feel this was going to be the next thing in your next chapter in your career?"
Well, the main thing is they made me feel like they wanted me here. I spoke to Jimmy and the gaffer, and they wanted me to come here and be part of it. So that's always what you need, you know, when you're coming to a new club, is for people to tell you that you're wanted there. So and also it's a fantastic club with fantastic fans and great facilities. So they were the main reasons.
Some more light-hearted tweets that have come in to #AskHeff from Hibernian Banter, who ask you, who's got the best banter in the dressing room?
Well, I've only been here a couple of weeks, so obviously I know Big Michael Nelson, you know, the Admiral likes a bit of banter now and again. I've also got, you know, I'm in the car school with a few of the lads, the likes of Paul Kearney and Liam Craig and people like that, so they're all light-hearted and like to joke about.
What was the story behind the Honey Monster mask? Because you know Nels quite well, don't you? What was that all about?
Well, he actually did it at Kilmarnock last year. We were doing the team photo, and him and Gary Harkins pulled a couple of wigs out up at the back and stuck them on. And he's done it again this year. You know, I think that's his party trick. I think he likes to do that when the photos come out. So he actually wore that on a Christmas party last year. He was dressed up as the Honey Monster, so he pulled it out again for the team photo. You know.